Craven on the bench, and who else? Coggan, was it? First quarter from the Rabban, southeasterly wind blowing, not a bad crowd in attendance. Oshenko gets first tap down. Ground in reasonably good condition for this time of the year. Steele. Hand pass taken by Smith. Coming from Spargo. Up toward half forward. Good mark taken by Longmire. And Tim Watson, this wind, he should basically have it at his back.
Yes, the wind is perhaps favouring us to the left of screen a little bit, but blowing across the ground quite a bit also.
So with that in mind, he should get the distance or go pretty close. And he's got the distance. Oh, a great mark taken by Carey, but it might be behind the line. It is. And so 1 point. First score of the match coming up to the Kangaroos after about 3/4 of a minute of play. Russell Morris to kick in. Notice the fly. Formerly of Hawthorn. And he'll favour the member stand side. Plenty of distance in that kick too, so perhaps the wind won't really be a factor here this afternoon. Bowie, Newport taken over the line. Good tackle. Strong grab coming there from Peter Mann, and we'll see a boundary throw in.
And as I look around the ground, Pete, there's some pretty good forwards on this ground. Lockett and Lowe, and of course Carey and Longmire down the other end. Socket off the ground by Brett Allison. There's Winmar back in the side. Hurry kick was by Shanahan, the centre wing. It looks like all North Melbourne at the moment. Pickering caught. Almost threw that one away. Dean McRae quick to trap it on the left foot. Here's a chance for North Melbourne. Mark. And the mark has been taken down there, and that is by Dwyer.
It's good play then by McRae. He played very well last Friday night against the Brisbane Bears at the MCG, and it was good vision then to pick Dwyer up. And now Dwyer's lining up for his first goal. Anthony
Dwyer, 45-degree angle. Oh, out to the right. It will drop short. Is this a mark? No, it's not. It hits the deck and then forced over the line by Pekin. So it will be a behind to North Melbourne.
He had the right idea, Pete, didn't he? Aiming for the right goalpost, just a bit much.
He just didn't drop it the centre of the boot. That was all that mattered then, as Russell Morris prepares to bring it back into play. But looking forward to this game. I think it'll be might be a little bit closer than people think.
Well, for North Melbourne's sake, they're the underdogs. Let's hope it is close. The Roos successful last week after a long run of outs. Flanagan in front, couldn't take the mark. And North Melbourne doing all the attacking so far. Crocker bends it back, not far enough. Winmar takes it over the boundary line, and it will be a throw-in in front of the member stand here at St Kilda.
Winmar back in the side and lining up in the back line too. His new position in AFL football.
Yashenko flips the ball over the back. Spargo, actually his boot nearly went as far as the ball, and Winmar takes a safe mark in the right back pocket. He's done the same thing, I think. Smith from inside the centre square. Dwyer marks in front of Shanahan, and he's within kicking distance. If we can take some sort of barometer from the kick of John Longmire, who registered behind, he was further out, but the angle for Dwyer is a little bit more acute, probably about 60 degrees. He's drifted across the face of goal as well. And again, the ball is rushed through for one behind, carted over the line by Russell Morris. So two rush behinds and a behind kick by John Longmire for North Melbourne, and they lead three behinds. St Kilda yet to score.
Some of the matchups at this early stage is Smith and North Melbourne's on McAdam. Ben Buckley's picked up Harvey and looks like he's got the job of tagging him for the day.
Russell Morris again to bring it straight up the centre of the ground. Clears half back. Allen in front. It's all North Melbourne. They're scouting well. Here's Dwyer again. He's in the action. Dwyer to the half-forward line. And too tall, waiting over the back. Darren Flanagan, a good mark. Former Geelong ruckman. The chip pass. It's a good one. Finds Fletcher. Another former Geelong player, Adrian Fletcher. To centre wing. It's all North Melbourne. Well played, Craig Scholl. On to Crocker. North looking good early in the piece. The short one. Oh, he waited for it, but he's marked it. And it was a good mark taken down there by Peter Mann.
It's a good mark.
He's on 50 metres, and that's the way to play. Get it moving quickly to the forward line, but he hooked it. Longmire, yes! Good mark.
That's a poor kick though, Peter. Putting him right in that pocket. The ball should have been aimed right out to the top of the square there and pushed even wider than that with the wind blowing in.
Longmire, normally a pretty accurate kick. He's right on the boundary line as Tim suggested. Now he'll run out to the right, open up the goals, and yet another behind on the board, the North. But they're doing all the attacking. 4 behinds for St Kilda, yet to get it to their forward zone.
I wonder if that's actually out of bounds. He moved off the line that the umpire put him on before he got over this side of the boundary line.
Yes, that's an interesting one, isn't it? When he played on. Chip short. Finds Winmar. This is Tim Pekin. He used to play with his socks down. Here's them up this afternoon. Great mark. Taken by Tim Allen. A little bit short of the right centre wing position. Winmar moving up from the back pocket. Decides to have a bounce and test the turf. Plenty of Saints down there. Stewie Lowe went up with his back to the football. Scholl past Fletcher. Backup support from Burke. Inside the square. Threw it out. Umpire says play on. Harvey picks up the crumbs well. 25-metre hand pass to Fletcher. A chance for Newport. There was Bowie before. But the Roos defending well. Pickering out to Allison. Allison at left half back measures the hand pass to McRae. You're nearly caught. But he's good enough to get the hand pass away again to Allison. And the Roos doing it well. Good to centre wing. Ashenko. Dwyer off the side of the boot. Might be to St Kilda's to North Melbourne's advantage because it went inboard. Shanahan has the front posse. Might be a free kick. No, Crocker. Umpires have put the whistle away. Allison gets it down and turned to Carey. And he spotted a man down there. That was good vision. And the mark again taken by Dwyer, who's doing well.
Well, he's doing well, and the St Kilda defender is a little bit confused at this stage. North Melbourne are pushing their players up the ground, and then they're running back into their forward line. And as yet, they haven't worked out who they're supposed to be picking up.
Dwyer, cute angle. Kicks deliberately, and again he's hooked it through for a behind. Well, they're not getting the ball in that arc close to goal. They're being forced to the wide to the pockets. It's costing them, Tim.
Yes, they've got to try and shift the ball when they're coming down the field and crossed into the centre corridor of the ground.
Well, they're doing all the attacking though. A good start to North, 5 behinds. Again, a short kick, Allen. Dangerous, but it comes off. And you could see the class of Carey a minute ago when he hooked that one to the pocket with terrific vision, as Peter called it. Nathan Burke. Now, this is Bowie, the danger man. Lockett versus Martin. Lockett running with the flight of the ball. Also, there was Fairley, and good play by Ian Fairley to take it to the line. He gets the hoots of the St Kilda supporters with good defensive play.
The boundary throw in, first time that St Kilda has been into attack. And they've yet to score. North Melbourne 5 behinds. Ball at the back. Bingham. Snapshot. And 1 behind. So that's the first score coming up to the former Hawthorn player. 5 behinds to 1 behind.
It's Nicky Winmar who was supposed to be picking up Dwyer, then in Dwyer and or Pekin and Winmar just swapped.
Scholl, good mark in front of McAdam. He's at left half-back flank. North Melbourne here this afternoon with a purpose. Marking contest on centre wing. Duncan take it. Carey looking for a holding the ball decision. Buckley, quick kick over his head. It was a blind effort really because he's kicked it straight into the arms of Nicky Winmar at the right half-back flank for St Kilda. Good kick by Winmar. In fact, distance-wise it is, but it's out of bounds on the full. He was looking for Devonport. Couldn't find him. And it's going to be a free kick to be taken down there by Richard Dennis.
Well, looking a bit sluggish early, the Saints. There's Carey flying. Punch further afield. That was by Buckley. And over the line. But they certainly do look sluggish, and North looking good, Tim.
North looked very sharp, and Winmar a moment ago, very difficult kick. He attempted trying to hug the boundary line on this side, which the wind is blowing across this way.
That was Flanagan, the big thump. Ben Buckley versus Bowie. Good use of the body by Buckley. Now he hooks it back to the pocket. Winmar probably would have been better off trying to force that over the line. Eventually it's over anyway. 50-metre line. North Melbourne's attacking zone. Jamie Shanahan, formerly of Fitzroy, has been a much improved player, Shanahan actually. That was Allen flying at the back. Flanagan trying to tap it out. And umpire Peter Carey, a very experienced umpire, will come in and bounce. Still at the 50-metre line, 5 behinds North. A couple of those were rushed. St Kilda, one shot at goal for a behind to Bingham. Flanagan again against Mann. Mann taps it on straight to McAdam. Have a look at the skill of McAdam. Tremendous play. Well done, Carey. He did that very well, done, Carey. Stevens, a throw. And the umpire right under that. Free kick to go for McAdam at half back.
Magnificent tackle, though.
McAdam take the free for the Saints. Centre wing. Schenko the flyer. There is a whistle on play. Free kick going St Kilda's way. Stewie Lowe, his first touch for the afternoon. He'll be looking for Lockett and Martin. He's got good support down there. He's held out of it, has he, Lockett? Gee, that was, well, to my way of thinking, Tim Watson looked a bit, as Ross Glendinning would say, tiggy. How did you see it?
A bit tiggy. Well, I think that they were both pushing each other. Lockett was on the wrong side. Lockett was on the right side with the wind blowing across that way. Martin was on the other side, and really it was a doubtful free kick.
Peter, what did you ever get him like that?
Yes, I think you get plenty of those. Full backs and full forwards pushing and shoving. I don't think it was a free.
So Tony Lockett, a chance for his first score of the afternoon. His first touch, actually. Ball hasn't been down there. He won't have any trouble with the distance. There's the ground like the back of his hand. He'll draw it back, will he? Yes. No. A miss. So one behind. Kicked by the champ. His first score of the afternoon. So no goals so far. He's rear as hen's teeth at the moment. Good mark to Steele. David Deers used to play for Collingwood. At the centre wing, Winmar the flyer, couldn't complete the mark. Harvey will look for the hand pass on the end of it. Newport back to Winmar. Saints warming to the task now. Morris takes the hand pass from Lawrence Bingham. All North Melbourne down there. Martin dropping back into the hole to take the mark.
There's poor use of the ball then.
Of course, in round 12 last year, he and Tony Lockett had that much publicised wrestling match. Morris in front. Good shepherd by Crocker. Picked up for North by Anthony Stevens. His kick up towards midfield. And the mark is taken by McRae.
Dean McRae, as Tim said, has been in pretty good form to the half-forward line. Peter Mann takes a good mark. Plays on to Spargo. Here's a chance. Where's Longmire? Oh, not a good kick, but it might bounce through anyway. Yes, great goal.
First goal of the match.
Well, I was just thinking he should have passed it to Longmire. Longmire was appealing for a free kick for holding, but he went the long kick, Tim, and put it through.
Well, it was well judged then by Spargo because the pack led up. It was an open goal, and he had enough confidence in his own kicking ability to know that he could clear the pack. And really, the wind got behind that kicking from that side of the ground too. So, after a lot of hard work, North Melbourne, they finally put a goal on the board.
So as Tim said, a lot of hard work for the first goal of the match. North in front. Early days yet. Ischenko taps the ball forward. Dwyer, who's been in everything for the Roos so far. From a standing start, kicks up to where St Kilda have the numbers at half forward. Morris. Kick up towards Bowie. McAdam does the shepherding for him. Spears the pass in towards half forward. Now a chance for the Saints is Harvey. Will look for Lockett on a lead and marks in front of Martin. So Lockett, who's already got one behind to his credit. Martin marks the spot. Umpire Peter Carey tells Lockett where the mark is. And Lockett will go for his first goal. So after a slow start, perhaps St Kilda at long last are going to get their first goal on the board. Martin will run up to the mark. No trouble with this kick. That's a goal. Lockett's first.
That was a good build-up then by the St Kilda players. Bowie getting the ball at half-back, having options out wide, but electing to go up the middle corridor, which was very good thinking, finding Bingham on his own. And the big fella showed a lot of manoeuvrability then and a lot of vision to get the ball out to Harvey. And Harvey's a very splendid kick on both his left and right foot, putting it down Lockett's throat.
3 points the margin. North lead after that great pass to Lockett. There's Allison going without it. Winmar brilliantly. Bowie onto the left foot. He'll look down towards Lockett. Martin out in front, races at the ball. Kicks it away towards the centre of the ground. D. McRae has 2 to beat. Should soccer it off the ground. Back up support from Dwyer. He loses it. Bowie again. Now Winmar and a holding the man decision that will go to Dwyer. Now Longmire is 1 out if he kicks it now. He should kick it quickly. Longmire versus Frawley. What a contest that'll be. Punched down by Frawley. It's a loose ball. A duck of the head. Allen. Now Bowie. Now Winmar. Winmar was meant for Pekin, but coming across at the back. As the kick comes in towards half forward. Oh, that could have been a free kick for Martin. Here's a chance for Devonport. Devonport at open goal. Kicks and goals. Good goal to the St Kilda utility player, and the Saints hit the front. They lead by 3 points.
And St Kilda getting a lot of drive up the halfback flank through Nicky Winmar. Although he's playing on a back flank, he really plays more as a ruck rover. He doesn't pick up his man doesn't play nearly tight enough, and he's creating a lot of havoc down there, having 7 possessions already in this first quarter.
(2-2 to 1-5). Devonport getting his first, and Fletcher could have got a free kick. In fact, he will get a free kick for being tackled when not in possession. Drops it short, low. Stewie Lowe missing a mark. You could just about call a news conference for that. Dennis, Steele, Stevens. Stevens at right half back. Took 15 marks last week, Stewie Lowe. Who's to say he won't get them again today, though. This is Carey. Carey at right half forward. He'll look for Longmire on the lead. Bad pass. Chance for Mann. Back to Longmire. The ball still in play. Bad hand pass from him. Harvey dives on top of the ball. Frawley. Morris. Spargo, good bump, ball out of bounds, right half forward underneath the main scoreboard here at Moorabbin.
We're very impressed early in this game with Peter Mann, who Northland took him early in the draft last year, and he's starting to show a lot of ability.
Flanagan, Bowie. Bowie from the left half-back flank. Kicks up towards Gilbert, McAdam and Ashenko. Low and Fairley. McAdam's the one to win out. Good skills, Smith. McAdam again. Not too many going in to help him. Nathan Burke finally. A throw. Says umpire Peter Carey. Free kick going to North Melbourne. And it'll be taken by Craig Scholl, a little bit short of right centre wing.
Craig Scholl to the half-forward line. Carey's got a couple to beat, but he thumps it to ground. There's Crocker on to Carey. Carey looking for a hand pass. Gets his boot to it. In towards full forward. Was he held, Longmire? Well done, John Longmire. Good football. Here's Peter Mann in after it. Couldn't get the hand pass in. Strong tackle. Oh, that was a throw. Kicked at goal by Allison. Oh, that's a different story when they're in front of goal, isn't it? It's a kick to the half-back line. That was a dead-set throw against St Kilda down there. Not paid. Allen. Smothered by Stevens. Stevens again. Here's a chance for Allison. He can straighten up. Oh, an ordinary kick. And he puts it across the face and through for a behind.
It was an ordinary kick, but I think he was in 2 minds when he kicked that ball. He started off with the idea to pass it to Longmire, and then in the end I think he had a kick at goal, and the ball ended up nowhere.
And that's St Kilda throw. If that was up the centre of the ground or on the wing, I've got no doubt that would have been paid. Here's Bowie to Nathan Burke at half back, and he's been paid the mark.
That'll be a good contest out there, Nathan Burke and Smith.
Nathan Burke from right half back, centering kick, looking for Steve Newport, and he's found him. Newport getting things moving pretty quickly for St Kilda. Allen with the climb at the back. Ben Buckley, has he got it? Yes, he has. Gets around Flanagan. He was looking for a hand pass there. In the end, the kick badly directed. Kicks it straight back to Newport. Newport centre half back. Scholl underneath it. McAdam in front. Punch by Scholl. Down to Stevens. McAdam's got the speed. He might finish up with the football. He does. Well played. Long looping hand pass to Bowie. Bowie from left centre wing. Lockett! Nearly. Back to Martin. Some aerial ping pong. Martin taps it forward. Ashenko went off the ground. Kicked it only a foot and a half. Kick it. And then North might be able to tie it up at centre half back. Nearly thrown out to Buckley. He couldn't get a clean possession. Back to Fletcher. Fletcher steadies onto the left. Low. Knocked away by Fairley and or Smith. And it comes to Martin, this time with a long clearing kick.
Good play by Michael Martin. Oh, well played also. That was by Dwyer. Now Crocker, now Dwyer again. Over the top, he's looking back for Crocker. Crocker was covered. That was almost a throw also. Not paid. Play on, and there's Carey dragged off the ball. Oh! Well, the umpire said he had it. What do you think, Tim?
Well, I thought he was in possession of the ball.
Well, the umpire paid it that way. As we see Fletcher, the centre of the ground. Winmar at the back, nearly a good mark. Allison, can he kick better this time? He can. Longmire in front. No mark, no free kick. He should get in a hand pass. He's brought the ground by Morris. Carey goes into lender hand. He can give it to Spargo. Spargo trying to get onto the right foot. He sets sail for home with a wobbly kick, but he floats it through for a goal.
Great kick.
So a great goal to North Melbourne, kicked by Spargo, and this is a good game of football. North Melbourne move on to 2-6 to St Kilda 2-2.
It's a well-placed kick by Spargo, but Fletcher trying to kick the ball into the middle corridor to Nicky Winmar, who is surrounded by 3 North Melbourne players, and they rebounded the ball back into the forward line, and that really was a dangerous kick.
2 goals to Paul Spargo. St Kilda's kicked by Tony Lockett and Craig Devonport. Back into the centre. McRae, clean possession from the circle around Winmar. Kicks inside 50. Allen, a juggle with Mann. Mann backs up. Good hand pass onto Stevens around Shanahan. And Flanagan ducking back. Sees the ball sail over his head for one behind. I'm sorry, I might have plagiarised one of your phrases there, Pete. Ducking back. Russell Morris to kick in. Who kicked the behind? I've forgotten. Now I want to mark it down. Crowd giving him plenty of support. McRae, Allen, Buckley, onto Smith. You see him taking his side steps. Ross Smith. Oh, courage shown there by Dwyer. And umpire Carey will bounce it, I think. The North have had, I suppose, 75% of the football. And I guess we asked the question, Tim Watson, is the win really worth that much to that end of the ground?
Well, I watched the reserves game, and a lot of goals were scored at both ends, so I really don't know that there's much advantage.
So that might be good news for North. Flanagan looks for the hand pass to Fletcher. And the Saints are going to come away with this. Newport kicks to centre wing. Could have almost been a free kick to McAdam. Excellent hand pass to Bowie, but it has to come back. North Melbourne free kick.
That's a lucky free kick.
That's a poor decision.
That is a shocking decision. We're right side onto that one.
Craig Scholl takes the free kick. Saints fans not happy. Crocker, mark.
Well, I thought the free kick should have been against Scholl, really. I didn't think McAdam was shepherding out at all out on that wing.
How about play on?
That play on was the obvious
well,
decision.
Probably, yeah, probably.
So Darren Crocker within kicking distance with the wind basically behind him, according to weather expert T. Watson. It's a southeasterly. I'll go along with that. Nearly 25 metres out and pretty well directly in front. Kicks at goal and gets the goal. Darren Crocker's first score of the day and North Melbourne's third goal, 3-7 to 2-2.
And Crocker, who's been picked up by Winmar. Winmar was a long way from Crocker when Crocker took that mark, and he's a very attacking player, Nicky Winmar, but if Crocker starts to kick goals, he's going to have to tighten up on him.
$11 points the margin. Schenko versus Bingham. No one got the hit out. Bingham goes in again. Centre of the ground. Scholl tries to crash his way through. It's out towards centre wing. Nathan Burke, Robert Harvey. They've got some skills, St Kilda. Racing after it is Frankie Coughlin, who's on the ground in place of Steve Newport. Coughlin in towards half forward and Stewie Lowe. Not the normal big overhead mark, the diving mark, but he's very, very mobile. Here's the kick into the pocket. McAdam runs with the flight and marks it right on the boundary line. And he's got that much ability and skill. I wouldn't put it past him to kick this one, Tim.
Yeah, he's a super player. Frankie Coughlin getting free then on his own. He came on to replace Newport. Newport was being picked up by McRae, and McRae perhaps a little undecided then as to who he was picking up, and him finding a bit of space on his own.
Yeah, will he run out to the right or to the left of screen, actually? Yes, out he goes, opens up the goals, kicks it very, very close. I think he's kicked it. And yes, he has. So Gilbert McAdam kicks his first, and a top game of football we're seeing here at Moorabbin. 25 plays 20, North Melbourne 5 points in front.
He's a super player, Gilbert McAdam, another Aboriginal player with great skills. That's a very difficult kick, that one, with the wind right at your back. Very hard to control the ball.
So McAdam gets his first goal. 3-2 to 3-7. Back into the centre. North have been doing well with the centre bounces so far. Spargo hacks it off the ground, but umpire Carey has found a free kick. It's going to St Kilda, and Fletcher's going to take it. He is. Former Geelong player. Lockett had it punched away. McRae. Lowe was in there as well. McRae again, fresh air shot. Pinched by Kickett. He'll get onto the right foot. Chips it in short. Lockett, yes, one-hander.
Too strong.
Well, in contests like that, Pete, I guess he would win just about every time.
So I don't know any other player that could out-bustle Tony Lockett.
Dean Lucan would go pretty close, wouldn't he?
Well, not anymore, Dean Lucan. He's down to about 90 Ks.
Well, he's a big, strong, full 40, intimidates his opponents with his strength, and he's really hard to beat in one-on-one contest.
Lockett for his second. He's kicked 1-1 so far. First shot of behind came from a free kick. Again, distance won't be the problem. Point blank range. He shouldn't have any trouble. He's got the goal. Lockett joining Paul Spargo as the leading goal scorer on the ground with 2. The Saints go to 4-2. They lead by a point.
That was wonderful play there by Dale Kickett to set that goal up. McRae had the ball. He applied a superb tackle, picked the ball up off the ground, spun around a couple of players, and then just tried to pop the ball up into the air for Tony Lockett. And of course, Lockett with his brute strength doing the rest.
St Kilda by a point. Schenko versus Bingham. Bingham won that one. No decisive kick, but finally it's Ross Smith on the left foot to the half-forward line. Allen was interfered with. Carey cleverly. Brett Allison. Well played, Carey. Allison chips it in for a goal. Great play, Carey.
Brett Allison capped it off. He's kicked 1-1, but that was a lightning hand pass from Carey. And Allison very speedily off the mark, Tim, wasn't he?
Yes, well, he's noted for his pace and for his finishing, Brett Allison. But Carey showing his value as a player. Not only is he a good, strong mark, Carey, he's also a good, intelligent player.
2.5 minutes of the first quarter remaining. Top game of football so far. 4-7 to 4-2. North Melbourne by 5 points. North have been doing well out of the centre so far. Bingham wins that one. Tried to get it to Coughlin. Pickering trying to barge through a wall of players. And Peakin's in there as well. I hope we have another bounce.
It's a very interesting move going on here. Flanagan's dropped back as a spare man in the back line for St Kilda, and Dennis is down there on his own in the North Melbourne back line.
Pickering, clean possession, takes it from the air. Allison leading in the race. Need to be quick, he is, with the left foot. Bad kick though, and the mark taken by Russell Morris at right half back. Clock ticking down, 1 3/4 minutes left in the term. Plenty of time for both sides to get another score. Buckley nearly had his head taken off, and nearly gets caught in the end. Coughlin, good hand pass on the end of it. Devonport, he'll centre it for Lockett with Martin. Martin cattons into him. Bingham does the shepherding, and a strong one it was at that. Martin, good tackle. The hand pass. German nearly takes it in front of Bowie, and the ball nearly over the line. Devonport a shot. That will go right across and out of bounds on the full.
I think the German would have been better off putting it through for behind, I think, Tim.
Yes, perhaps he would have too.
Well, here's Fairley. I wonder if North can keep up the pressure against this talented St Kilda side. They haven't been able to do it during the year. They've played 1 or 2 good quarters, but not 4. That was Fletcher with a quick kick, taken by Spargo. Centre wing, Allison versus Shanahan. Well done by Shanahan to tap it out to Morris. Morris towards the line and over it goes. So it'll be on centre wing. It'll be a throw in. 3/4 of a minute left as we see Crocker and Winmar bumping into one another. Lashenko, Flanagan got that tap. Here's McRae, quick handball. McRae tries to sucker it off the ground. Winmar was there. Now Fletcher. Now Ben Buckley smothered. Steele, a quick kick. This is Spargo. He can give it across to German, but he elects to kick it himself to half forward. Peter Mann in front. Thumped away from him. Well played, Allison. Here's the danger man, Keary. Well played, Wayne Keary. He's trying to look for Longmire. He puts it out in front of Longmire. That's magnificent play by Keary. What about that, Tim?
Very good play.
Well, here's Longmire from 55 metres. Hooks it across his body, Allison. Oh, that's not a good kick, Longmire. As the siren sounds to end a very entertaining first quarter here at Moorabbin. Scoreboard shows North Melbourne 4-7-31, leading St Kilda 4-2-26.
St Kilda's won 5 of its past 7 matches against North Melbourne, with North Melbourne leading at quarter time by 5 points. Going to the right of screen in the second term. McRae gets bumped off it. Chance for Dwyer. He fumbles. German jumps over an opponent. Winmar overruns it. McRae again. He had a good first quarter. Marking contest out there. Mann and Allen. And the umpire has found a free kick. It will go to the St Kilda player for interference. And Tim Allen will take the free kick at the right half-back flank. Chips it in short to Danny Frawley. Frawley the captain. Dennis in front. Ben Buckley. Nice blind turn, but he kicked it straight to Nicky Winmar, who also had a busy first quarter at half-back. Low, mark number 2.
In that situation, Lowe is almost impossible to stop.
For 15 marks last week, Stewie Lowe. One of the great players of the modern-day game. And you never find a fairer player to pull in a pair of footy boots.
No, dead right, Pete, and he'd be hot favourite for the Brownlow medal at this stage.
Carry some of your hard-earned.
I don't think
debatable.
I don't think I'd get on anyway.
Peter, you could get on, or anybody could get on, you could. Anyway, back with Stewie Lowe. 45 out. Pretty well directly in front. He may have missed. Have to wait on the goal umpire. Yes, he has. One behind. Kicked by Lowe early in the second quarter to make the difference now 4 points here at Moorabbin. And that was his first score of the afternoon.
Michael Martin, he's got the big job on Lockett. Lockett's already kicked 2. Richard Dennis, a good mark, former Carlton player. Centre wing, Dwyer. Couldn't mark. Here's Nathan Burke, a real goer. He gets steamrolled by Ross Smith. Carey brilliantly to Crocker. Well done, Crocker. On the shoal. Now, Longmire. Could have been a free kick. He was held. He was grabbed by the arm by Danny Frawley. Frawley's telling Peter Carey that he was held first. But he was caught red hot.
It was a good position to see that, Peter Carey. He was right there.
John Longmire, he kicked poorly in the first term. He's yet to score a goal. They could do with this one. There's the drop punt. It floats. It's close. And it is a goal. Well done, John Longmire. Good kick from out at the 15-metre mark. And North looking good. 37 plays 27.
So once again, there was an intelligent handball on the wing then by Carey. He got the ball on. North fed it on quickly. And the great kick out into space to Longmire, who led onto it well. And Longmire found a bit of form last Friday night against the Brisbane Bears. And if the North are to do well today, he must fire.
John Longmire has now kicked 1 goal, 2 so far this afternoon. 22.5 minutes left in the second quarter. North did well at the start of the first. Crocker's kick this time up to Mann. And I was impressed by him in the first quarter as well. Now, with this tricky wind, it's almost blowing into our faces here. That's virtually across the ground, basically a southeasterly. 55 out. That's not a good kick. Flanagan tries to punch the ball to the boundary line, didn't quite make it. Tackle applied by Frawley, goes in after the football, picked up by Harvey, was it? Yes, it was. Bowie, another Pekin, got one in the back for his trouble, surely.
That was bad play by Peter Mann a moment ago.
It's even worse now, that's a 50-metre penalty.
And when you mark out at 55, Tim, you should get it moving down to your goal square quickly.
Yes, he took a long time from that position. He wasn't ever going to kick a goal, was he?
And this kick could be worth a lot because it puts St Kilda into attack. Brought the ball across the ground. Devonport was the target. Knock on by Ross Smith. Ball spills free. Burke slaps it further forward. Past Scholl. Coughlin. Good hand pass. Onto Fletcher. Fletcher's left foot. Lockett and Martin. And Pickering should take it through. He does for a rush behind. Another rush behind to St Kilda. Or in fact their first of the day. 4-4 to 5-7. 28 plays, 37. Martin to kick the ball. And again he goes to the outer side.
Well, he's looking for a Schenko. Good play by big Alex Schenko to make that break. Away from Flanagan. Now he can kick it out to Peter German. He sets him up for Robert Harvey at the back, but it ends up with German. Now he was looking for the hand pass. Now he kicks it long. That's a good kick too. Wayne Carey back with the flight of the ball. Well done though by Russell Morris. Handballs wildly. It comes to the advantage of Peter German again, who handballs back. Oh, fumble of the ball. Peter German again. Should be kicking it. Out there and caught with it is Dwyer. That'll be holding the ball. Umpire called play on. Allison chips it in short, and the mark now, that is at 50, no, I don't think so, at the 50-metre line. This is Wayne Carey, very impressive Carey, and look at that booming kick. Crocker, oh yes, good mark, Darren Crocker. He's a talented player, Tim.
He's a very talented player, and I know Nicky Winmar's an attacking player also, but Nicky Winmar is still about 100 metres from his opponent, Darren Crocker.
Darren Crocker. Well, Darren's kicked one. He is right deep on the boundary line. He might run out and open up the goals and kick it on the left, or will he go for a banana kick? Yes, out he comes. Left foot. Oh, has he hooked it back?
Hit the post.
Goal!
Oh, gee.
A goal to Darren Crocker. I must admit it did look, but I think it hit something at the back. Is there a net there? Or it did look as though it ricocheted off something. There was a goal.
Yeah, this was definitely a goal.
And North are looking good. Crocker's kicked his second.
The marvel at the skill of the players in AFL football today. Crocker normally a right foot kick, running out then on his left foot and screwing the ball back, and that's a delightful shot for goal.
2 goals by Darren Crocker, 2 to Spargo, leading goal kickers for North Melbourne so far. Good effort by the Roos to date. Coughlin a knock on, Pickering in the road, Coughlin again, Pickering clean possession, then he actually threw it out, and the umpire's found a free kick. He's going to North Melbourne.
He was lucky, wasn't he, because he did throw it.
It's had the...
It was a crude tackle then by the St Kilda player.
Questioning tone in my voice. Anyway, it's a Roos ball, half forward for them now. Flanagan. Allison went in pretty solidly. Knock on by Morris, not really to the advantage of a teammate. Bowie dragged off it when he didn't have it and must get a free kick at half back. Brett Bowie, one of the smallest players on the ground. And speaking of on the ground, St Kilda player in the hands of the trainers back there.
This is Fletcher, Peter.
This is Coughlin around the Cray. And Martin this time playing in front of Lockett. Under Liam Pickering. Pickering from centre half back drills the pass. They could have raffled it out there, the North Melbourne players. It's German. Another hand pass onto Spargo, who's kicked 2 goals so far. Spargo from midfield. Good kick. Oh, Longmire gave his opponent Danny Frawley a nice old nudge there, not seen by the umpire. And if he did see it, he didn't pay anything for it. And a chance for Mann again to get front position. Doesn't come up with the football. St Kilda's defence trying to tie it up. Fletcher looks for the hand pass. Frawley goes wisely to Pekin, right on the boundary line, over the head of Tim Allen. Should be able to make ground to get there, which he does. Long looping hand pass, not to the advantage of his side. 2 North Melbourne players are there, and Craig Scholl comes out with the ball.
Yeah, great play by Scholl, but a poor kick straight to Bowie. They look under pressure. There's a free kick in the back to Bowie, but they're not getting it their own way today, St Kilda. The North are really switched on, and it could be a danger game for the Saints. They're hot favourites. Bowie to half forward should be a North Melbourne mark, and it is, and it's taken by Richard Dennis, and they're all switched on. Ashenko cleverly. Pickering, oh, dropped by McRae. That's not good play. Nathan Burke to the half-forward line. Craig Devonport, can he trap it? He can. He's got an open goal, Devonport. He hooks it, but not far enough, and he puts it out on the full. And that's pretty indicative of the way the game is going at the moment, Tim.
It's a hard kick, though, in that pocket with the wind blowing right across.
Michael Martin kicks in, marking contest. At the back was Fletcher. Ball socket off the ground up towards centre wing. Bowie again busy early in the second term. Centering kick from him up the half forward. Pickering with the fist. Or McAdam got collected. Didn't have the football. Nothing for it. Now a chance for kick it inside 50. 45 out directly in front. Has sprayed it a little bit. Steele's got the mark, has he? No, umpire nods his head. They're right on the line, literally. Goes to the outer side. Allison on his own. Nearly slipped over. It's clear of Bingham. Shanahan. Punch away at the second attempt from German. And the ball out of bounds in front of Bingham. And also Allison. 17 minutes left before half-time. So North Melbourne serving it right up to St Kilda. As Pete said, red-hot favourites today, the Saints. Ishenko and Flanagan. Fletcher hooks it back over the head of Devonport. Ball bounces beautifully for him. Runs in, shoots at goal and has missed. One behind, kicked by Craig Devonport. 1-1 against his name this afternoon. 4-5 to 6-7, 29 plays 43. And again, Michael Martin to bring the ball back into play.
Well, it's 9 shots to 13. And Martin to the half-back line. Ross Smith versus Nathan Burke. Craig Scholl. Good play by Scholl and was grabbed. Free kick. So it was very clever play. As the ball will be relayed back here to Craig Scholl. And no one's coming to get it for North. It's a stalemate. Now Paul Spargo comes across and so does Ben Buckley. Scholl having a good game. Now he's almost on centre wing as he brings it to the half-forward line. Ishenko across. Good mark as he came across the face of the pack. Finds Spargo in towards the pocket. Longmire's got the right position. Oh, it didn't really go hard enough for that Johnny Longmire. He should have marked that. There's Mann dragged off the ball. Brilliant pick up by Winmar. Handball to Bowie. Bowie goes wide. Shanahan. Now Fletcher. Oh, a bit of fancy Dan stuff there by Bowie. Fletcher. Back to Bowie. He went with 2 hands this time. Bowie in towards half forward. Fairly, do you give away the free kick? No, said the umpire. In goes Pickering to soccer it off the ground. Good play by Pickering to put it over the line.
The St Kilda players really over-possessing the ball. It's very difficult when the conditions are windy like this to keep handballing the ball accurately, so they've got to try and get the ball down the field as quickly as they can.
Knocked down by Ishenko. Harvey. Bowie. As I said, he's had a good second quarter. Tried to find Coghlan, couldn't do so. Dennis was there instead. Dennis kicks inside 50 for North Melbourne. And the ball stops, picked up by Carey. Play stops as well. It's going to be a St Kilda free kick. Taken by Shanahan.
In some ways, you've got to play a day like today with the wind strong, almost like a wet weather day.
Shanahan's kick to centre wing. Dennis punches the ball clear. Crocker applies a tackle. And a stalemate on centre wing. It's going to be a bounce.
Ooh, I thought he jumped into his back then.
Yes, I think if he hadn't been trying to get rid of the ball, he might have got a free kick with the umpire electing to bounce it.
Ishenko taps down. Couldn't find a teammate. Scooped up to Burke. Quick kick. Kick it, left it for Devonport. No talking there. Saints fans didn't appreciate that. Pickering might be able to do the tidying up work. Thumps out a long hand pass in the direction of Steele, who gets cannoned into by McAdam. Excellent play by McAdam. He nearly came up with a football, which would have been just reward. He really had eyes only for the ball. Forward pocket for the Saints. Stewie Lowe, a little bit quiet so far today. Ross Smith kicks to centre wing. Good mark taken by Darren Crocker. He's doing well. The deal between him and Winmar. They both had plenty of possessions. Probably Winmar more so. Crocker can be damaging. Peter Mann, like the start of him today. Inside the square. Longmire. Great mark. Out in front of the face there. Hard to take. On a lead. And I know Peter McKenna would be impressed with that.
Oh, that was magnificent, Tim, wasn't it, that play?
That was perfect pinpoint kicking.
Kicking's the name of the game now for John Longmire, right on 50. Again, accuracy leaving a little bit to be desired, so he has now kicked 1 goal, 3. And St Kilda 4-5, trailing North 6-8 in the second quarter of Moorabbin as Russell Morris prepares to kick.
Well, you could see it early in the game. North Melbourne switched on. Ross Smith, great use of the body, strength. And this is a real danger game for St Kilda as Smith goes to the half-forward line, man in front, thumped the ground. The hand pass was by Fletcher, back to Morris, on to Frawley, and the Saints go forward through Frawley. Dennis versus Coughlin. Coughlin's off, and he's caught. No, he breaks the tackle. Frank Coughlin in towards half-forward. Gilbert McAdam at the back takes the mark. Well judged. McAdam will kick from about 40 metres. Well, it's a pretty decent old angle. But he's on the right side of the ground to shoot for goal here, and they could do with it at the moment, the Saints. McAdam, a very high floating kick across the face, and that might be out in the full. Noah behind. So conditions difficult for goal scoring. 44-30, a 14-point break to North.
McAdam has kicked 1 goal, 1 now. Allison kicking for the Roos. That was the member stand side. Almost a mark, not paid. Burke. Good hand pass. Devonport. Lockett on the burst. Misses the mark. Don't often see that happen. Lowe trying to pick up the crumbs. The big fellow just can't get a clean handle on the ball. Now the hand pass comes out to Harvey from Fletcher. And wide to Winmar. Kick it. Can he convert from there? 45 out. Yes! Goal! Shepherded through on the line by Tony Lockett. And Dale Kickett gets his first goal of the day. Valuable one for St Kilda. 5-6 now to North Melbourne 6-8.
It was a great kick by Robin Harvey across the ground, changing the direction of the play. Winmar lurking down the field. And a quick handball over the top for a goal. And Winmar's being a damaging player for St Kilda. And Crockett, his opponent for North, has been a good player too.
8 points the margin. North lead. Ashenko tries to tap it down. North Melbourne try to get it out of the centre through Buckley. They do so. Stevens versus Shanahan. Stevens lying on the ball. Got to try and must make an attempt to get it out of the umpire's opinion. There's Big Ashenko. Quick handball to the half-forward line. Tap back to Morris. Tackle is made on Morris. He's Pekin. Well done to Harvey. Now on to Devonport. Very quick thinking by St Kilda. Bingham. He really is. Play on it. Must have been touched off the boot. Hand pass by Harvey. Now it's Craven, in fact. Craven in towards Lockett. Lockett at the back. Thumps at the ground. Richard Dennis. Well done by Richard Dennis. On to Ross Smith, who brings it out wide. Crocker is on top of Winmar. Let's see what he can do here. He goes to ground. Still with it, Darren Crocker. That's great football. On to Spargo. He's looking for Mann. Mann at the back. Thumped down. And that was by Shanahan as Mann puts it over the line at half forward. What a game of football we're seeing.
And Tim Allen, who picked up Mann early in the game, has gone off the ground, and Shanahan has gone on to Mann.
So boundary throw in right half forward for North Melbourne. Crocker. A quick kick, one-on-one duel, Frawley and Longmire. Frawley gets the front posse, held it, dropped it, went for the boundary line, out deliberately, surely.
Oh.
Gee, what did you think, Pete?
Well, it was definitely deliberate, but as I said down the other end, when it's in front of goal, it's a different story.
Okay, you make up your own mind at home. Snapshot for goal, that's not bad by Anthony Stevens. He's got it! Great kick! So Anthony Stevens kicks the goal and North Melbourne get the quick reply.
That was a magnificent goal then by Stevens, roving the pack, and that was an opportunist goal. And the North Melbourne players are really committed today. I've watched them play a number of times this year and they've gone in fits and starts, but up to date, nearly half time, and they've maintained the relentless pressure on their St Kilda opponents.
Well, we'll say it again, North looking pretty good. The St Kilda supporters were appealing for a free kick to Frawley. Now there's Peter German. He had a quick kick. It travelled about 2 metres. But Yashenko's doing a power of heavy work at the centre bounces. The Saints will really have to pick up their game. Tim, they're not playing well at the moment. Bingham thumped towards Allison. Umpire said too high, so Allison will be able to swing on the left foot. Where's Longmire? Now he'll kick it short because he's got a man out there. Looks like big Alex Yashenko. It is. Yashenko should be banging it long down towards full forward. He does. Into the pocket. Flanagan gets into that hole at half forward. Still a chance. The kick was by Spargo. In goes Carey, and talking about Carey, umpire Peter Carey will come in and bounce.
I don't think any relation, and he's not too happy with the treatment meted out by Darren Flanagan there either. A bounce 35 metres out from the North Melbourne goal, and North Melbourne proving real surprise packets here this afternoon. Knocked down by Flanagan. Crocker through some pretty heavy traffic. A shot at goal is off target, and that is a behind. Gee, if that was out of bounds, but he sneaked it in for 1 point. Darren Crocker, 2 goals, 1. He's kicked now 5-6 to 7-8.
He's had 10 kicks and 6 handballs, Crocker. 16 possessions. We're not even to half time.
And Nicky Winmar's had 6 and 5, who's been playing on him. So a pretty good duel. Good mark to Ben Buckley. As for the hand pass onto Spargo, or a high kick. Could bring rain. Flanagan getting underneath it. Crocker at the back in the marking contest. And the Saints defenders trying to and succeeding and tying it up. We'll see a bounce 35 metres out now from the North Melbourne goal. 8 minutes left before half time. Must be pretty heavy, that part of the ground. Yashenko up high. Fletcher taken out of it. Devonport trying to pick it up. And again a bounce.
The St Kilda runner was out a moment ago to speak to Flanagan. Flanagan is not going in the ruck. Bingham's going into the ruck. Flanagan's staying in the back line, and then he's supposed to pick Yashenko up when Yashenko comes out of the centre. He's a little bit slow to do that a moment ago.
Well, there's about 15 players around this throw-up. Flanagan, which almost thrown out there. Again, the pack develops.
It's like British Bulldog.
Well, there's no place for the faint-hearted in that pack. As they go in again, it's tapped down by Yashenko. He's doing a power of good work. There's Crocker again, goes to ground. And it again will be a throw-up. I don't think he'll bounce it. Peter Carey. The North Melbourne runner out there is Frank Gumbleton, former premiership player. Good honest player for years in that back pocket for North. Russell Morris, a quick kick out towards centre wing. They race after it. This is Ross Smith. He's got 2 to beat now because his teammate fell over. Pickering, now Ross Smith, Nathan Burke, a couple of goers there. Well done, Nathan Burke. Nicky Winmar, Gilbert McAdam, off he goes, craps that. Good play, McAdam. Oh, smothered. Well, good play by Scholl. North Melbourne doing well. The Stevens kicks wide. Danger here for St Kilda because, Yashenko's dropped the sitter. Should kick it quickly and long. He does. In towards full forward. Back with the fight. Here's Longmire, but a free kick to St Kilda to Pekin.
Look, I wonder how useful it is to have Flanagan right back there and Yashenko in the middle of the ground. North are moving the ball through him when they go forward.
He's been looking for Winmar, and Winmar doesn't let him down. That's his 7th mark he's taken today, Winmar. And 7th kick now. It was Pickering underneath it, who now applies the tackle on Fletcher. That could have almost beaten the back. The umpire says no, play on. Ross Smith taking the hand pass. Kicks the ball back. Good vision. Up the right centre wing. This is Stevens. He'll have to kick it quickly. He does. Over the head of Crocker this time. Frawley leading in the race. He's got backup support there from Pekin. And the 2 St Kilda defenders are able to once again tie the ball up. End result of which is going to be a ball up. About 35 metres out from goal.
That's a good play by Frawley again, playing on the wind side of his opponent.
Flanagan and Mann. Good shepherding there, enabling Crocker to pick the ball up. Too long for Peter German, but he might be able to get a clean possession. Good tackle, Coughlin. Ball thrown out. Devonport on the end of an errant hand pass. Coughlin gets it back. Long looping hand pass again. Harvey. He run his full distance. Lockett. Training drill.
It wasn't good play by Peter German up the other end, Tim.
No, he's under extreme pressure then, and St Kilda being able to get the numbers to the ball, whilst the North Melbourne players, there was 2 left to battle for on that occasion.
5 minutes left before half-time, and Tony Lockett goes for his 3rd goal. 2 goals, 1. Wind at his back. Distance won't be a problem. Crowd likes it. It's a goal. 3-1. Now to Tony Lockett. One of the best moves forward for the Saints today, certainly resulting in 4 points. 7-9 to 6-6. So the difference once again 9 points.
Well, Peter German coming off. I knew Wayne Schimmelbusch wouldn't have liked that effort out in that half-forward line. And off he comes. And coming on, I think it's Dean McRae.
He's been out of sorts this year, Peter German.
Back to centre, Ashenko, and St Kilda mount another challenge. Scholl doing well. Quick kick to the half-forward line. Archer back with the flight. Here's Flanagan. Tim's not impressed with that move. Flanagan in defence there. As we see around the corner towards the half-forward line with McRae and thumped over the line by Shanahan.
I just think St Kilda would be far better served by having Tim Allen sitting back in the slot, or one of their other players on the bench, Craven or Bowie.
More mobile.
Much more mobile.
Well, there he is, Flanagan, trying to grab it out of the ruck. Players in after it. Well played. Frank Coughlin. Great football to Winmar. Winmar wide. Harvey versus Ben Buckley, and Harvey marks. And he's wanting to play on. Ben Buckley back on the mark. Harvey to half forward. Winmar. Centre wing. Where's Lockett? Out he comes. Lockett and Bowie. Lockett. Good lead. Great kick. And Tony Lockett's kicked 3, and the St Kilda fans are wrapped.
And that was very poor play then by Crocker. Crocker, who is the opponent of Winmar, is still, or was about 100 metres from the ball where Winmar got that ball. So they're playing very wide of each other and giving each other plenty of latitude.
Tony Lockett, he is a great kick of a football. There's no doubt about that. And Tim Watson's coached well, because Tim Allen is on the ground and might go into that position that was previously filled by Flanagan. Tony Lockett for his 4th. Oh, he might have hooked this one. He has. Should be a mark to Ashenko. It is. Not a good kick by the big full forward after just giving him a rap.
Alex Ashenko with Stewie Lowe standing the mark, and Stewie's been remarkably quiet so far, certainly by his standards. So he had 3 kicks and taken 2 marks before half-time. Allen up high. We're out the back of the pack. Crocker did well to get a kick at it after slipping over. Carey tries to smother it. Morris backing up well for St Kilda. Man over the top of him. Shanahan kept the ball in play. Put his slick hand pass to Allen through some heavy traffic. Morris calls for it. He goes downfield a little bit further to see the mark taken by Craig Scholl, but there was a push or whatever from the umpire. And a free kick home to St Kilda. This time he finds Morris. Oh, gee. And Morris takes the free kick towards half forward. Ashenko couldn't take it. Hacked out of the pack by Stevens. Winmar having a purple patch. He gets dumped. Might be downfield. Will be downfield, surely. And the goal's been kicked anyway by Bowie, but I think play had stopped. He whistled time on. Did any books come out there, gentlemen? I was looking downfield. I don't think so.
No, it was a little bit late, but I'm not sure that it deserved a free kick downfield either.
Crowd certainly making sure the umpire saw it. And it's going to be Tony Lockett. And poor old Michael Martin thinks, well, he'll get this one, but that wasn't anything to do with me. There's no justice, is there, being a fullback? Tony got 2 in the first quarter. He's got 1 so far in this term. 3-1 to his tally. He's now got 4-1. So the Saints get a little bit closer. 7-6 to 7-9 North by only 3 points.
There's big Tony shouting out some instructions, or he's calling for the trainer. And no fiery clashes yet between those two down there.
Well, they're both on their best behaviour, aren't they?
And close to half-time. Lashenko has done well in the ruck. Taps it towards the centre. Taken away by Fletcher, the booming kick. Richard Dennis, a difficult mark. Back to the flight. He did it well. Ian Fairley's done pretty well on Stewie Lowe. Kicks it wide. This is Darren Steele. Now, they've got the loose man going here. Oh, he should have given the hand pass across. He had that loose man. There he is now, Allison. Brett Allison. That is shocking play, as he puts it out on the full, and not good football because he was under no pressure whatsoever.
Jamie Shanahan. A vital few seconds left before half-time. We've got about 3/4 of a minute. North only leading by 3 points. Archer in front. Started on the bench, couldn't take that mark. Ball shuffled out the back of the pack. Spargo grabbed when not in possession. Pekin's hand pass onto Bowie. On to big... now it comes to Craven. That was Bingham. Lockett, easily done. Too strong, too big, too whatever.
That was a super mark, I think.
And maybe he can make it 5 by half-time and give the Saints the lead. There's the siren, in fact. So St Kilda should go in a half-time break with the lead if he can kick this. He's kicked 4-1 today. First shot for goal was a behind. And that's the only behind he's kicked so far. He had one other shot in this term which didn't quite make the distance, which was marked by Lashenko. Goal umpire moves across, but a goal. So 5-1 to Tony Lockett by half-time, and the Saints hit the lead. They came back well in the latter stages of that quarter, and the scoreboard at Moorabbin, 8-6-54. St Kilda leading North Melbourne by 3 points, 7-9-51. We begin the second half at Moorabbin, only 3 points in it. St Kilda trailed by 5 points at the first change, leading by 3 as we begin the second quarter. Lashenko with a little toe poke. Scholl, good hand pass. Allison down towards Longmire. Excellent football, North Melbourne, to start the third term. John Longmire has been a little bit off target though so far today. He's kicked 1 goal, 3. The Saints trying to break a long run of outs here at Moorabbin. They've lost their last 5, although of the 25 games played here, they have won 11. So their record, apart from the last 5 years, hasn't been too bad. Longmire with the breeze behind him. Should get the distance. Close. Marking contest on the goal square, and the ball rushed through ultimately for only 1 behind. So that makes the difference now 2 points. If there's any wind advantage, it's to the end North Melbourne is attacking in this term. And Russell Morris to kick in. And going pretty well straight up the ground. Not really a good option as it turned out. Fletcher, good tackle by Allison. Spargo, excellent hand pass. Buckley, 15 metres out, shoots at goal and gets it. And that's just what Wayne Schimmelbusch would have wanted to start the third quarter. Ben Buckley kicking his first goal for the day, and North Melbourne hit the front again by 4 points.
Ben Buckley's been a good contributor for North. He's picked up the dangerous Harvey. Harvey's had a lot of the ball, but Buckley's been in there doing his bit for North Melbourne at the same time. And as you called, Peter, that was a poor kick from Russell Morris, not getting onto it properly and not going exactly where he wanted it to go.
North Melbourne by 4 points. Oh, Lashenko was blocked as he went in to contest that. Got hit out. There's players charging after again. Here goes North. That was Pickering. Carey dragged off it. Socket off the ground. Lands with Nathan Burke. Burke to the half-forward line. Richard Dennis, one-handed. Misjudged that badly. Not good play by Richard Dennis. Off the ground, Bowie. Now, Bowie's got 3 North Melbourne players to beat here. Dean McRae sockers the ball away, then goes to retrieve it himself. In towards Carey. Diving attempt. There is some conjecture that Wayne Carey may have been reported, or else Russell Morris reported on him.
Yes, there was an incident earlier in the game, and the umpire spoke to Wayne Carey just before they bounced the ball at half-time.
Half-forward line for North. Carey still battling away at half-forward, and umpire Murray Bird will come in and bounce. Or else throw it up, actually.
Yep. Some parts of the ground fairly heavy. We've seen this ground in a lot worse condition than it is today, though, that's for sure. Battle for the ball. Coughlin wins it. Bowie. Underground hand pass intended for Fletcher. Picked up by, was it McRae? Yes. He's been a fairly good player today. Off the hands of the pack and out of bounds. North Melbourne's left forward pocket early in the third quarter. And the Roos again taking it right up to the Saints, but they may have this slight wind advantage. Not really too much in it. Basically, it's across the ground and very tricky to play. Two Kilda players up there, Bingham and Allen. Neither can get it clear of a big pack. And again, we will see a bounce or a ball up, it may be.
One player who has played well for this entire first half was Alex Isenko. Not a day that suits the big fellas either. It's very windy, very hard for them to judge the ball, but he's been a terrific competitor for the North Melbourne team.
Bingham taps down. Devonport gets absolutely poleaxed in that tackle. Comes out with a free kick. Now has to play on. Allison and Bowie. Allison wins out. Very skillful player and quick. That's a real high kick. 50 metres. 25 up and 25 down. No one can mark it. Devonport, good hip and shoulder, sees him over the boundary line. And it's out in the full. It's a free kick to North. It'll be taken by Carey.
No, the other way, I think.
Other way, is it? Well, Carey thought it was his. So did I. And it's Winmar's. Dennis again went up one-handed. Maybe he's got an injured shoulder. Pickering might have got one in the back. Umpire says no. Play on. Scholl tries to do just that. Now there's a whistle. Umpire Carey says it's a North Melbourne free kick this time, and Scholl will take it. Or is it going to his teammate out there in Pickering? Pickering's taking the kick from left centre wing. No one can take the mark. Dwyer, who started well in the first quarter. Quick hand pass to Schenko, almost blocked by Harvey. Mann, and he finally gets clear.
He's kicked it straight to Winmar. Winmar and Crocker have had an enormous duel. Winmar to the centre of the ground. A good kick. Finds Coughlin. Coughlin might kick long here to Lockett and Lowe. And Lowe finally gets away. Ian Fairley has beaten Stewie Lowe, but Lockett's one out in the square on McMartin. Lockett's already kicked 5. He'll mark this 2, I would think. Yes! Too good. Too strong. And when he's one out, he is almost impossible to beat, as you could see there.
Well, the way he's going, he must have a chance of breaking Bill Moore's record against North Melbourne, which was 11, set way back in 1936.
Well, he's kicked 5, Pete.
5-1.
He is kicking from about 15 metres. No angle. So, camera right behind Tony Lockett. And he certainly is electrifying. The St Kilda crowd really come to life when the ball gets anywhere near him. And the good thing about Lockett, even though it's a 15-metre kick, he takes his time and concentrates on every kick. Tony Lockett directly in front. Bang. 6 goals, Tony Lockett. The Saints hit the front.
That was a marvellous mark then by Lockett, who was always going to mark that ball, and perhaps when it first left the boot of Lowe's, I thought it'd be a mark from behind Mick Martin. But the way Lockett did that, he's almost added that one-hander to his repertoire this year, hasn't he? We've seen him take those sorts of marks on many occasions. And I don't know, Peter, do you think he's taking a lot more time when he goes back for his kicks this year than I've seen him do in the past?
I think so, definitely, and I think it's a good thing. It just shows his professionalism as a full forward.
So Tony Lockett now has 739 career goals against his name. 6-1 this afternoon. Isenko, Winmar. Good bump applied down there by Stevens. He nearly finishes up with a football. It's probably underneath him, and he'll be the last to get up. 19 minutes left in this third quarter. Scoreboard showing 60-58 in favour of the Saints. North has a fairly good record down here, although not in the last few years. Bingham has half of it. Now the umpire's going to have the whole lot.
I think North or St Kilda have been a bit surprised with how ferocious the North Melbourne team have been today.
Bingham taps out. Smith off the ground. Spargo needs to get clear and will. He's kicked 2 goals so far. That's a towering torpedo into the goal square. It won't bounce through. Frawley from Allen. Spud's kick will land around about the half back line. Marking contest out there. Fletcher and Crocker. Winmar's tripped up, albeit accidentally. Fletcher goes over the boundary line with it. St Kilda fans looking for a free kick. Hardly surprising. Yashenko and Bingham's hurt. Came off second best in that exchange. Going to get the free kick. Murray Bingham, his first senior game was against the Brisbane Bears. He kicks into the man on the mark. Spargo, good tackle applied by Bingham, but Yashenko's got it. On to Stevens. That's an excellent kick, Anthony Stevens. Full points, North back in front. What a game of football as the Roos lead by 4 points.
There's a poor blunder then by Bingham, not going back far enough to take his kick, kicking it to Alex Yashenko. And Yashenko backing up again, taking the handball, and a clever handball onto Stevens, who finished that off. And Alex Yashenko has been very impressive again today.
North Melbourne by 4 points. Yashenko again gets first use of the ball. Harvey sweeps across the centre of the ground. Nathan Burke lying over it.
It's holding the ball.
And yes, it must make some attempt to get rid of it, which he did not. This is Ben Buckley. Almost in the centre of the ground. There's a wrestle going on at half forward. And now they're coming in from everywhere as Buckley, a high floating kick. Winmar, no mark. Players battling for a Crocker has been excellent. Still going. So is Winmar. Have a look at the skill of Winmar. As he brings it out of half back to the half forward line. Fairly at the back has done well on low. The dangerous McAdam. He looks out there further afield for Kickett. Still going on with it was Kickett. Now he pulls the ball in and lays on it. No attempt to hit it out.
Well, if the umpires are going to be consistent, that's holding the ball.
Well, he hooked it back in underneath him, didn't he, really? Dale Kickett as the ball is thrown up. Oh, there's a box on. Ross Smith. And there's a box on going on behind the play. Both players trading blows, and the kick is going to St Kilda.
And that was a fair dinkum box on that one,
it was,
too.
wasn't it?
Come on, let's keep going, boys.
Well, the umpire's calling play on. This is Craven in towards Lowe, who hips out his opponent. A free kick against Stuart Lowe, and good umpiring by Peter Carey. There was no doubt about that. The ball was not within 5 metres.
And the crowd and the players coming to life. Dennis, Big Yashenko. He's too tall for Bowie. They're the biggest and the shortest player on the field. Steele, not a good kick. Kick it. He did just that. Hacked it out of mid-air. Dennis charges through. Well shepherded. Coughlin pins him. Buckley, good hand pass. Steele, well taken by Craven. Ball spills free for Dwyer. He runs into trouble instead of out of it. And it'll be a ball up.
And there's a little bit of spite creeping into this game in the third quarter.
I think the coaches might have had something to say at half-time, Tim.
Well, I don't know. I just think that perhaps the players have lifted the tempo again in the third quarter, and they're both having a red-hot go.
Craven had the ball, lost it, free kick, grabbed when he didn't have it. So Craven to put the Saints deep into attack. He's still inside the centre square. He's gone out wide because Devonport's on his own. He'll go long for Lockett in the goal square. Not this time. Martin. Whoops. Nearly runs into trouble. Out to Dennis. Out to Allison. Lovely Bourke. The man who took the mark of the year. Spears the pass up to Yashenko, but North Melbourne doesn't have the numbers. That was a badly directed kick. Devonport. Lowe has to beat 3. Can't do that. And a North Melbourne mark. Taken down there by Dennis.
And some of the St Kilda players upfield falling for the bait of thinking that all they have to do is kick the ball high in the air to lock it to Lowe.
Martin's kick. Winmar can't take it. He's got a free kick, has he, Nicky Winmar? I must admit I didn't see what that was for. Either of you gentlemen put your hand up for that?
Well, they said it was interference. I thought Crocker was going to the ball as the kick comes in towards half forward. Low! The big hands go up and strong mark. Geez, a good mark.
one out is almost impossible to beat, but too many times the St Kilda players have just popped the ball in the air. He's had 3 opponents to try and beat, and it's been almost impossible for him.
Stewie Lowe from 50 metres. He brings it in towards Lockett. He's got 3 or 4 to beat. Look at that. Surrounded by 4 North Melbourne players. And what hope did he have? Dwyer to half-back. Stevens, he was off. Not good play by Stevens on the half-back line. He should have gone back and had his kick. How will the umpire see this one? A push in the back will go St Kilda's way to Nathan Burke. Off he goes. Burke brings it across to Allen, and Allen marks 60 metres from goal. He can give it to McAdam. No, a little bit late now. He'll probably, now again there are 3 and 4 players back on Lockett. The short kick though. Harvey is off. Oh, the umpires let it. If I was a North Melbourne player, would have got straight in and grabbed him.
Yes, and you would have got 50 metres.
Yes,
too.
that's the problem. The short one, or poor checking. North Melbourne allows Flanagan to mark.
Well, the North Melbourne players dropping back have stopped the other avenue to goal then, and St Kilda having to go wide.
Darren Flanagan, normally a long kick. Oh, that's a beautiful kick. Goal for St Kilda by Flanagan. So Darren Flanagan kicks his first, and in a seesawing game, St Kilda hit the front by 2 points.
It's amazing what or how kicking a goal can help your confidence. Flanagan hasn't been a great contributor thus far in this game. He's been off the bench a couple of times. He really needs to get a hold of the game because Ashinko has been a very dominant player.
Darren Flanagan's first goal. Under 13 minutes left in the third quarter. A real seesawing affair here. Ben Buckley's high kick will land inside 50. 2-on-1 in favour of St Kilda. It's knocked down to Carey, who can't get clear. 2 North Melbourne players collide, and then 2 St Kilda players. And finally it's Pekin who got it out. Ross Smith, heavy tackle. Burke leading Spargo. Ball will have to come back, will it? Going back to Fletcher. That was about half an hour ago. Fletcher off the edge of the square. Not a well-directed kick, that one. Intended for Bowie, perhaps, who comes in late. And it will be a ball up just on St Kilda's attacking side of centre wing.
So that was courageous play then by Spargo, backing back into the pack.
Dangerous territory. Nishenko again, and we've spoken of his efforts today. He's done really well. One of the best games I've seen him play. Smith, these two have had a great battle. Crocker this time nearly gets dragged off. It didn't drag it underneath him. Might have been pinged for holding the ball had he done so. They've been hot on that today. Harvey out to Shanahan. Into space, no one there. The race for the ball, important one for both clubs to try to gather this. Dennis does well for a big fellow, quite mobile, gets away from Allen. His man is Allison. Lorimer called well out of position though, and the mark taken by Tim Pekin over to Winmar, who's instigated many attacks from the half-back flank today. Nathan Burke doesn't get the bounce he wanted. Oh, Ross Smith, beautiful gather, right on the boundary line, could score from there. Oh, that is a goal! What a great kick! Ross Smith, excellent goal, and North Melbourne hit back again. 10-10 to 10-6.
Well, this is a wonderful quarter of football so far, and Smith gathering that ball in beautifully on the flank with the wind at his back and set sail, and that was a great goal from him. Allen has moved out of the back line for St Kilda. He's gone down into the forward line, and he was being picked up there by Dennis, and we should see him go back into the back line now as a loose player, so he's playing up and down the field.
A fantastic game of football. Schenko loses it to Craven to the half-forward line. Good use of the body. McAdam shuffles it out. Here's Kickett. Now Lockett. Great play by Kickett and a good lead to the big full forward. He's kicked 6. And don't tell me now St Kilda's going to hit the front. This is an unbelievable game. Tremendous football. And Tony Lockett. And again, look at this. Taking his time. Putting the mark down as Stuart Lowe does. Having a look at it. Going back, taking his time to slam it through. He is a great kicker for football, Tim.
Well, normally he is, but he just seems to be taking a lot more time and care over his kicking today than I've seen him do in the past.
Is he going to kick double figures again?
Gee, you'd bet on it just about, wouldn't you, at the moment?
Well, he's kicked 6, lining up for number 7. He is a beautiful kick. And they trail by 4 points, the Saints. Let's have a look at this. Bang. And the goal umpire says a goal. So 7 goals to Tony Lockett. And the Saints, they lead by 4 points.
Well, that new technique there that Lockett's adopting when kicking for goal is one that's used by Lowe. And I wonder if not perhaps that Hudson was the instigator of that technique here at St Kilda.
2 points. The scoreboard is wrong. 11-6. Tim, you're the mathematician after last night in Adelaide.
All right.
I haven't got my calculator with me, Pete.
Back into the centre at Spargo. Less than a kick in it. That'll do. Or Mark, yes. Paid it. Carey.
Was paid downfield, I think, Pete.
No, he paid holding the man, actually, as he signalled holding onto his shorts before the ball got there.
Okay, well, he's got the kick anyway, Wayne Carey. Chance for North to get a quick reply. Hasn't scored today, Carey, but he's done a lot of useful things in the forward line. "55 metres out. That'll be pretty close. I think it's there, or is it just touched? Gee, I thought that was over the line, but the goal umpire in perfect position to see. And so only one behind to the Roos.
Longmire thought it was over.
I must admit I did, looking at it through the glasses, but anyway. Doesn't know what we think, it's what the goal umpire says. Morris looks for Pekin, finds him. Hand pass is effective to Devonport. Crocker's nearly got him. Pekin again to centre wing. Allen has to be quick. Fletcher. McAdam attempt to mark. Lowe tries to crash his way through. Couldn't do so. Gets it to Winmar, who will bend it back with that kick. Lockett having to beat two. Can't do so. Dennis gets there first, but the ball was over the boundary line.
And North Melbourne have made an interesting move. They put Dennis back onto Lockett, and now Martin is the spare man in defence.
So throw in. Almost in the forward pocket. Lowe taps it initially. Comes back to Martin. Oh, gee, that could be a dangerous hand pass. And paddled over the boundary line by McRae.
And I would suggest that the reason why is that Martin is much more of a dasher than Dennis, and that perhaps they'll get a lot of drive down the field by having Martin being that spare man.
Probably certainly, well, they won't lose much. Lowe tried to hack it off the ground. Steele, well, can't pick it up, must be like a piece of soap. Handballs it out of bounds. And again, you would have to ask the question, but no. So a throw in right on 50. Ishenko and Lowe. The man mountains there. Lowe trying to paddle it forward. Steele had to hack it out of midair. Allen lost it. Kick it, always dangerous near goals. Good tackle applied by Shaw. Coughlin goes, almost goes down. And no one's making much headway at all.
It's a perfect example of where supporters on one eye. There was no free kick there, was there? Yet the St Kilda supporters saw about 5.
Lowe taps down. Martin's hand pass was effective to Spargo. Spargo's high kick will land round about centre wing. And Nicky Winmar making excellent ground to take that mark right in front of the players' race. Clock ticking down to three-quarter time. 7.5 minutes to go. 3-on-1 in favour of North. The ball punched up towards the centre square. And that's Stevens. And he and Pickering look alike. Winmar again. Good gather. Excellently done by Nicky Winmar. 20-metre hand pass up to Allen. Saints come forward now through Harvey. Buckley won't catch him this time. Puts the ball out in front. Martin. And go off the ground. No, the hand pass is on to Steele.
Steele back. That's good defensive play, North Melbourne. Now McRae, now Martin. And oh, he went for a bounce, Michael Martin. Back to McRae. They should kick it long. They do. McRae to the half-forward line. Man back with the flight on Shanahan. North Melbourne racing after it. Longmire. Quick handball to no one in particular. This is Craven. He's looking for Fletcher. Oh, he's nearly unloaded. Sock it off the ground by Harvey, then goes and gets it again. Craven to the half-forward line. His other little rover, Bowie, into Lockett. Tony Lockett has dropped the mark, but he swings onto the right foot, hooks it back towards goal. It's a high floating kick. Stuart Lowe back with the fight. The mark is dropped by Allen. Tapped on by North Melbourne. This is Scholl. Craig Scholl on the left foot. He's got the man there in Stevens. Will it sit for him? It doesn't. The tackle's on Winmar. And that was good umpiring to let that go because he really didn't retard Winmar. And over the line it goes. Centre wing. Terrific game of football this
Oh, it's a great game of football, this one.
Boundary throw in on centre wing. Still less than a kick in it. Hardly been much more most of the day. Down goes Craven, off the ground McRae to the edge of the square. North swing into attack. Shanahan will get there first, beaten by Carey. Morris showing good dash. Fletcher clean possession at midfield. He looked for Lower Lockett. He won't find them with that kick. That was a shocker. And North Melbourne will get clear again. It's rebounded from one end of the ground to the other. Winmar onto Harvey. Buckley, a slap out. Peakin into the back of his opponent. Archer can't get clear. Craven nearly had his jumper ripped off him. Trying to barge his way through as big as Schenko. Devonport over the top to Craven. Plenty of dash in him. Spargo nearly caught him. Dennis in front of Lockett. McAdam and Steele. Gee, that could be holding the man. Lockett tries for the hand pass. Ross Smith trying to tie it up down there. Not successful. Burke's in there.
Good umpiring.
Yes, letting it go.
Yes.
And Craven almost running too far with the ball there a moment ago. He was waiting for Lockett to lead, and Lockett stayed back at the 10-yard square and was just signalling for him to kick the ball down to him.
Stewie Lowe to do the ruck work. Taken away by Pickering. Players giving everything on both sides, and that was good umpiring in that last 10 minutes where they've let the game go, Tim, and they've made, because really the players putting in that effort didn't deserve Tiki Touchwood free kicks against them on either side. Tremendous stuff to watch this. Real old-fashioned game of football. Fletcher around the corner to the pocket. Waiting for it is Fairley, who's done so well on Stewie Lowe. A wobbly kick. Centre of the ground. Shanahan went without it. Schollers there. Tackled by Peter Mann. A loose ball. Off the ground by Craven. Devonport is there. The North players swoop in on. Danger here. McAdam. Now Winmar. Where's Lockett? The chip passes on. Martin comes at the back of Allen. Allen trying to pick it up. Then tries to soccer it. Kick it. The skills of kick it. McAdam dodging, weaving. Straight up in the air it goes. Umpire calls play on. Crockett's in after it. It's taken away by McRae. Good stuff by both sides again. Was that a holding decision? This is Archer. Goes outside to Carey. Where's Longmire? Carey looking for the lead. It's a shocking kick by Carey, but it might come off as Longmire races at it. Oh, a handball straight to Fletcher. Not good play, John Longmire. St Kilda off and running. This is Craven. Craven not sure what to do with it. Swings onto the right foot and kick it long. But in the meantime, what did he pay that for, Tim? Running too far. I thought he went about 3 metres.
I'm bewildered.
I think that's what he's paid.
Well, he ran a lot further than that before when he was running down the ground.
You're right.
Well, there's... now what's he done there? Spargo nearly kicked it straight to Craven. Oh.
He's got everything this game.
Well, luck's a fortune. He can go back and have his kick again.
You said that. North with an opportunity. Mann got two hands to it. Stevens, a quick kick. It won't be a score. Crocker in front, can't mark it. Harvey gets around Archer, or nearly. He has to touch the ball on the ground. Another bad hand pass. Winmar diving on Buckley, who had to get rid of it quickly. And the ball finally kicked out the back of the pack. Still kept in play. Archer has to beat 3 of them. St Kilda will try to tie it up and take it over. And there is a whistle, or is it out of bounds? No, it's going to be a ball up.
So there's been a lot of pressure applied by both sides in this quarter. Spargo goes off and German's back on. He's only been on for fleeting moments today.
Peakin. Buckley's over the boundary line, surely, yes. Throw in the forward pocket, 5 metres from the behind post. Just over 2 minutes left in this third quarter, so a goal here to either side would be vital. Stevens flips the ball up out the back. Devonport can't get clear. Hand pass comes out in the direction of McRae. He can't trap it either. And once again, it will be the boundary umpire to throw it back.
Another player who's played well is Shanahan. Although he hasn't had a lot of touches himself, he went back onto Mann, who had a really good first quarter, and he's quietened him since then.
Carey and Flanagan. Stevens on top of it. Have to get rid of that quickly, Anthony. Morris will go for the safety of the boundary line and then gets a clean kick at it, but he might have kicked it straight to Schenko. He has. German, who's been on and off the bench today. Swings around onto his right foot. Big pack of players down there. And to North Melbourne, marked a man.
That's a good mark, that, wasn't it?
That was a terrific mark, but Mann started the game well. In the first quarter, he had 3 or 4 marks. He looked a very dangerous forward, but since then, he's been a very quiet player.
Well, 1 minute and 8 seconds of play before three-quarter time, and this would be a handy one. It's been a seesawing game. They trail by 3 points. North Melbourne, a chance to put them in front. Peter Mann from directly in front. He chips it in, an ordinary kick. Did that clear the pack?
Yes.
I think it did. It's a goal. Well, luck's a fortune to Peter Mann, but they lead by 3 points, North Melbourne, after that great mark. But an ordinary-looking kick.
Yes, it was an ordinary kick. It only seemed to travel at about 8 or 9 feet off the ground. And really, Mann shouldn't have been allowed to take that mark. Big Flanagan was there. He should have been able to get a hand and knock that ball away.
So the last few seconds of the third term, we've got 45 seconds remaining. Flanagan and Ischenko go at it. German dragged off the ball. Smith, a quick kick down to the centre half forward position. Devonport will go the punch. Punches it straight back to Crocker though. Gee, can they get another one, North Melbourne? Crocker spins around. Frawley ducking back and takes the mark. Danny Frawley in the last line of defence might have nullified any further attempt at scoring. And he kicks to the outer side.
And Peter Mann was on his own then if he could have found him. Here's a chance for Allison. No, a free kick in the back. And it will go the way of the Saints to Fletcher. Off he goes to Russell Morris. St Kilda off and running. They've got 10 seconds to get the ball down for a goal. There's the kick by Robert Harvey to McAdam. He's lost it. Craig Scholl's been a good player. Stevens too has been surprisingly good. There's the siren to end a magnificent quarter of football here at Moorabbin in a seesawing, topsy-turvy quarter. North Melbourne at three-quarter time. They lead by 5 points. 11-11-77 to the Saints. 11-6-72.
Final quarter from Moorabbin. Been a thriller all day. North Melbourne leading by 5 points. Tony Lockett has 7 goals so far. Ischenko has been one of North Melbourne's best players, certainly. Fletcher taps it up and Buckley taps it back. Buckley spins out with the football. Kicks it out towards right half forward. St Kilda has the numbers out there and Devonport gets underneath it for the safe mark. Now 50-metre penalty, and that must have been millimetres over the line. And so St Kilda will go into attack early in the final quarter.
Peter and Martin, who was a loose man at the end of the third quarter, has gone down into the forward line. He's been picked up by Shanahan, and Carey has gone to the back line and is picking up Tim Allen.
Lockett and Dennis at the back. Craven can put the Saints in front and does. So St Kilda hit the front early in the final quarter. Craven getting his first goal of the afternoon. The Saints lead by a point.
And Devonport's kick travelling on a little bit further with the wind then, clearing the pack. The players misjudging the mark, but still really should be side by side with Craven. And that's a poor error on his behalf for someone who's so experienced, giving him those 2 yards latitude.
And also the 50-metre penalty, Tim, very costly there by Peter German, although I don't think it should have been paid. Socket off the ground by Stevens. To the half-forward line. Longmire, was he being held? North players appealing for a free kick. There's Michael Martin, almost threw that away. On to Peter Mann it goes. There's the kick in towards goal. Across the face, one behind. I think that makes the scores level. That kick was that Stevens?
That was by Stevens.
I had a look twice to see whether it was Stevens or Allison. They look pretty alike. So scores all tied up at 78 apiece.
And that looks suspiciously like a throw then from McMartin.
Did it ever. As we see Russell Morris to bring it down the centre of the ground. It's a beautiful kick this time, almost reaches the centre. Ross Smith at the back, a great mark as he launched himself. Oh my goodness me, can you believe that?
I can actually. I thought that Winmar had the first grab on that one and Smith got the second
You
grab.
replayed that 25 times, that mark, in 24 other umpires would pay that a mark to Ross Smith. As we see the tap down by Ischenko. On by Flanagan. Ross Smith again. Chance for the Saints. Breaking away Frankie Conklin at a high floating kick in towards the half-forward line. Stewie Lowe pushing and shoving with Fairley. Oh, great play to Lockett as it's got knocked on by Kicken. 8 goals to Tony Lockett. The wry grin on the face of the champion full forward. St Kilda lead by 6 points after great play by Kickett.
Yes, that intelligent knock on then. But the Saints are looking dangerous in this last quarter, just the way they're coming down the field in droves. And they're attacking the ball, running hard at the pack, and the crumbs spilling out, and they're going to be there in numbers. And that ball that Tony Lockett kicked, that's gone all the way to Brighton.
Well, things not going north for early in the final quarter. They got off on the wrong foot with that 50-metre penalty, but that was a superb tap on by Kickett. Lockett finished it off. So 6 points in favour of St Kilda, 8 goals to Lockett, and the Saints fans finding voice. Eshenko can't clear the pack with the knockout. And we'll again see a ball up. So North Melbourne have to get a reply. They played 3 quarters of very, very good football, but the Saints with their tails up early in the final quarter. Flanagan with Eshenko. Won by the latter. North Melbourne player getting absolutely buried in the tackle there. I think it was Spargo. It is. And he'll be the last to get up, logically. Just on North Melbourne's attacking side of centre by about 1.5 metres. Same ruckman. They don't have much to do with that bounce though. It was way off target. Eshenko to Buckley after the original hand pass came from Pickering. Frawley gets the ball to the boundary line, and/or Shanahan, and we'll see a throw in North Melbourne's right forward pocket. John Longmire has kicked 1 goal 3 today. Had a few opportunities early, not many in the third quarter. Crocker over the top. Spargo, could he make it 3 goals? Tries for the hand pass, and that's through for 1 behind, if in fact it's not a free kick. Which it is. To be taken by Devonport. So no score. Morris going to take it. It's going to be Russell Morris. He goes across the ground.
Oh, stupid play, Anthony Stevens.
Downfield, surely Pete won it.
Absolutely stupid play by Stevens.
Well, a couple of silly mistakes by North early in the final quarter. I've seen St Kilda up and running, and they certainly will be with this guy, Winmar.
Well, he just ran and flattened Morris after he kicked it. Stupid play, as we see Devonport receive from Pekin. Devonport in the full forward, over the back, trapped by Clavin, good play. Allen goes to ground, holding onto the ball, and that's how the umpire saw it too. And it will be Liam Pickering at half back. Saints supporters not happy with that one, but he did go to ground and made no attempt to get rid of it. Here's Mick Martin, punched away Nathan Burke. Gilbert McAdam on the Burke, the chip pass into Lockett, clears his head, and Richard Dennis allows the ball to roll over the line deep in the forward pocket for the Saints.
20.5 minutes left in the match. Low, up high. Not a decisive tap out. Oh gee, Kickett nearly had his fingers hurt there. McRae. A quick kick. Allen spoons that one out. Bowie. Fletcher off the side of his left boot, and it will be out of bounds on the full. So free kick to North Melbourne to be taken by Richard Dennis in the right back pocket.
And Kickett's in all sorts of trouble then. He copped a full-blooded kick to his shin.
He'll get his fingers hurt too. That's a good mark to Allen. He's up on his feet now. Allen too far out to score. Plenty of advice being given. 2 players making leads. McAdam was one, Harvey was the other. He's gone to Lockett, and why wouldn't you? And Big Eshenko comes across the front and takes the mark. Onto Spargo. Spargo out towards the centre wing position. One-on-one duel here, and it's Martin to take the mark. A little bit short of right centre wing.
Michael Martin at half back. Oh, he's injured, Martin. He is damaged to hamstring, I think, Michael Martin. I saw him chase the ball a moment ago and wondered what was wrong with him. And he'll have to come off the ground as he had to kick that on the left foot. Now Devonport in towards half forward. Eshenko is there, but the big hands of Stewie Lowe go up, and a good strong mark. Lowe will kick from 50. Brings it in towards full forward. Tony Lockett. Yes. Too big, too strong, too good. Well, he's kicked 8. Going for 9. He's on the boundary line. Michael Martin, yes, it's definitely a hamstring. And that's bad luck to North. Stevens back on after he gave away a stupid kick down the ground a moment ago. So Lockett, a chance to make the margin 2 goals. Out he goes. The big full forward kicks wildly and kicks out of bounds on the full. So North still in with a chance. They only trail by 6 points.
Kilda having all the play though, Tim, in the last quarter so far, haven't they?
Yes, they're coming home with a wet sail, and Carey, who started this quarter in the back line, has now gone up to full forward, and John Longmire has been taken from the ground.
Yes, quiet day for John Longmire. Did all right early. As I said, has kicked 1-3. Oh, gee, that's a bad kick. And North Melbourne off the hook there, perhaps. Kickett's hand pass, now taken by Fletcher. Lovely sidestep, Jarman-esque that one, and he's booted a goal. So the Saints alive, and they go further ahead. That's his first goal, and St Kilda's 14th. 14-6 to 11-12.
St Kilda making North Melbourne pay for that poor skill error then. You're going to kick short on the back line in a dangerous situation like that, then you've got to make sure that the kick hits its target. On that occasion it didn't, and Fletcher, a very clever player, balking around and putting through a lovely goal.
Well, I thought it was lack of intelligence by Richard Dennis to even attempt that at this stage of the game. There's the quick kick. Nathan Burke, St Kilda off and running. Gilbert McAdam. Now Frank Coughlin on the right foot. A high floating kick. Richard Dennis worried about Lockett here. Tony Lockett, too good. But Richard Dennis, my goodness me, worrying about his opponent instead of watching the ball.
Yeah, well, it's a difficult one though, Peter. The ball has been kicked high into the air. He's got the wind. He has to try and find Lockett so that he can at least touch his body to know where he's at. But Timmy, Lockett had a run at the ball.
He had front position. He had the perfect sit, and all he did was turn around and look at Lockett instead of. Well,
yes, but if he had have kept his eyes on the ball anyway, what Lockett would have done was just held his ground, and he would have run back into him anyway.
Well,
I think we'll take this up later.
Yeah, I think your idea is to keep your eye on the ball and go for that. And he didn't do that, and Lockett going for goal number 9. He really is a champion, full forward Lockett. Having another big day. Well, he kicked double figures again from directly in front. Oh, he's hooked it. And I'd already marked it down as a goal, and he's missed it.
8 goals, 2. I think he's too happy if you can lip read. He kicked it behind with his first kick of the day, which was a free kick, and the goals have flowed since. So Richard Dennis, who has the unenviable job, I don't think any other North player would be rushing down there to take it off him. Kicks in. Burke has the sit, doesn't come down with the football. St Kilda again with the numbers. Bowie was held, but he had the football as he gave out the hand pass. Ishenko, no, he didn't, says the umpire. But Bowie at left half forward. Lockett behind this time. Oh. And a great mark. Had the sit that time. And no complaints from either of you two gentlemen on that occasion.
Well, that was just too good.
That was a marvellous bit of play there.
Good mark. He's so strong. Had the run.
Dennis was in the right position. He was in front of his man. Did everything that you would ask of your backman. But Lockett just too big, too strong and too good.
8 goals, 2 he's kicked. Difference is 13 points at the moment. It's been all St Kilda so far in the final quarter. Lockett for his 9th. He's hooked that one too. So 8 goals, 3. 2 behinds in this quarter.
It's just letting North back in it a little bit, isn't it? You know, he could have shut the gate there, Tony Lockett.
A difference of 14 points. Plenty of time for North to get up if they're good enough. 15.5 minutes left in the match.
Ian Fairley, who has been very good at half-back. He really has tried hard on Stewie Lowe. Out towards Brett Allison it goes. And in fact, is it over the line? Now it is. But we'll find Stewie Lowe's stats.
5 marks.
Yeah, 5 marks and 6 kicks. Well, he's done the job well, fairly, as it's at centre wing. North badly need a goal. There's a wild kick by Spargo out on the full. So it'll be St Kilda looking the fresher side.
North have almost lost the plot, haven't they? They need to regroup quickly.
Nicky Winmar, beautiful kicker. 65-metre kick to the half-forward line. It's thumped away. Craven's added a lot of life to this St Kilda side. Back to Fletcher. Fletcher in towards the pocket. Scholl. Oh, Lockett waits at the back. Thank you very much, he says. Over to Coughlin. Another mistake to North Melbourne. It's a goal to the Saints.
Well, 2 North Melbourne players up there, and they were made to pay the ultimate price as Coughlin got the goal. 15-8 to 11-12.
And the St Kilda side continuing to run in numbers. And this is impressive. The good sides, the better sides, always tend to run over the other sides in the last quarter, don't they? They can play and they can match them for 3 quarters. But this St Kilda side is a very good side this year, as they were last season. And North, who have played and battled gamely for 3 quarters, are now looking underdone.
20 points is the difference now. That's St Kilda's biggest lead of the day. Flanagan taps down. Craven nearly caught by Dwyer. Crocker shepherds for Dennis, who runs into a brick wall and is going nowhere. And umpire Murray Bird will bounce it just inside the 50-metre mark.
Now, the point I was trying to make, Dennis was chasing after that ball and was continually looking behind to see where Lockett was.
McRae. Certainly been a good try for North Melbourne today, but that's out of bounds on the full. And as I said moments back, the Kangaroos really need to regroup quickly if they're to get back into this match. Stewie Lowe having one of his quieter afternoons, as Pete McKenna pointed out. Lockett, nearly. And taken over the boundary, or not the boundary line, the line by Scholl.
I thought he had his name written all over that, Tim.
That measured about 5.8 on the Richter scale there.
So the Saints peppering the goals. Burke. North have hardly travelled forward so far in this final term. And that's a good mark, taken by Fairley. And as Peter McKenna said, has done a great job on the league's top centre half forward, Stuart Lowe. Carey punches down, not clear of the pack. Craven gets in front. A quick kick. Comes not to the direction or advantage of North Melbourne, but St Kilda again. Devonport on left centre wing. Centering kick from him. Tried to find McAdam. Couldn't do so. Scholl gets around Allen. And North Melbourne through Steele will finally clear.
Oh, no one there for North Melbourne. Now there is. Spargo, a free kick against Spargo. I think he put the hands on the shoulders there on Tim Pekin. Tim Pekin, off he goes to Devonport. Half back. St Kilda looking good in this quarter. They're coming home with a wet sail. Frawley. Now Fletcher. Fletcher, no one near him for 35 metres. Has another bounce. Runs to 50. The chip passes on, but Richard Dennis read that a lot better. Lockett after him though. Oh, steamrolls his opponent. Grabbed by Stewie Lowe. In towards Allen, the fly, and Tim Allen takes a great mark 10 metres from goal.
It's Allen hasn't been a star today. In fact, he's been a reasonably quiet player. He's been on the forward line, on the back line. He's been on the bench for part of the day, and he really has got a lot of potential. But like a lot of young players, when they first start out, he's just a little bit consistent.
Tim Allen. Now what's happened here? They've reversed it. They've taken it away. I think it's against Lockett. For some reason, I didn't see it. A holding or decision or something was going on behind the play, and Richard Dennis and Lockett, it would have been a certain goal to Tim Allen, but not paid. Of course, because of that free kick, and the St Kilda supporters not happy. As Dean McRae in towards half forward. North Melbourne badly need 2 or 3 quick goals. Here's their chance. Peter Mann. Back it comes to Dwyer. Dwyer, beautiful kick to half forward. He can run on if he wants to. Ben Buckley, but he elects to go. Now he can chip it across to German. No, he won't. And the St Kilda player has snuck up about 2 metres on where that mark was taken. Umpire sending him back. Ben Buckley, if ever a goal was needed, it's right now for North Melbourne. Buckley lays back. It's a shocker. And he sneaks it in for a behind.
1-1 kicked by Ben Buckley today. Only 2 behinds kicked by North in the final quarter so far. Just under 11 minutes left. Norris kicks in. Half takes it, but the umpire, I don't believe, had finished waving the flag, so we'll do it again. He won't go short this time. He goes longer towards the outer side. Again, St Kilda have the numbers. Shanahan and or Frawley. Frawley's hand pass is partly smothered and it's out of bounds. So the Roos still with a chance if they're good enough. The 2 behind so far. Not much reward. Mind you, the ball hasn't been down there that much. Flanagan taps down to Craven. He wasn't going anywhere. The big Saint tries to tie it up. Ishenko gets the hand pass away. Harvey applies a tackle. Nearly comes up with the football. Gets pushed out of it. Winmar. Scholl. Steele. From left centre wing. Marking contest down there. It's a North Melbourne grab. Who's got it? Dwyer? Yes.
He was about 3rd in line to take that mark. It was an excellent grab.
Started well, Dwyer. Haven't seen too much of him in the last quarter and a bit. 14 possessions. That's his 4th mark. I venture to suggest most of those would have been gathered earlier in the game. Had an excellent first term, actually. 40 metres out. That's a goal. So North Melbourne still in with a chance as Anthony Dwyer gets his first goal of the afternoon. 15-9, 99 to 12-13, 85.
And North Melbourne's still very much in this game. What they need to do now is get the ball quickly out of the centre, where Ishenko's been a dominating player all day. And they seem to have lost control of the ball around the packs. They really did hold sway for most of the first 3 quarters, but in this last quarter, Saints have taken over and they're in control.
Ishenko versus Flanagan. Flanagan won that one. Straight to Ross Smith. They go forward again. Anthony Stevens at the back. It should have been a free kick to St Kilda. It is. To Nicky Winmar. Winmar beaten early by Crocker. But certainly can hold his head up high. He's still been a pretty good player. Here it is at centre wing with Fletcher. Greatly improved player. On to Craig Devonport. Devonport to the half-forward line. Running with the ball is Allen. Can he kick his first goal? He swings onto the left foot. Hooks it back at goal. A great attempt, and what a top goal by Tim Allen. So the Saints have got all the answers. They kick clear again, 16-9 to 12-13.
Well, once again, it was a Fletcher handball that got the ball moving down the field. And Tim Allen, a left footer, and perhaps the North defenders a little bit silly on that occasion, not going to his left side. He was always going to duck back onto his left foot. He feigned to the right, and they went to the right.
105 to 85. Again, 20 points the difference. Ishenko nearly out of the centre. Rugby scrum out there. Umpire will ball it up. So the clock ticking away all too quickly insofar as the North Melbourne fans are concerned. Ishenko, Burke slaps it up towards half forward. Steele showing plenty of courage. Burke's long down towards half forward. Chance for Dwyer. Gets tackled pretty quickly and the ball spills free to the front of the pack, but it's going to be a North Melbourne free or St Kilda. It's going St Kilda's way to Tim Pekin for holding the ball.
Gee, that was a strong tackle, Pete.
Winmar, Pekin had Winmar on offer out there. Great mark to Ben Buckley, captaining North Melbourne. Buckley's kick, big pack of players down there. Carey applied to Shepherd. Spargo, been a good player for North. Turns around, that'll go pretty close. That's not bad, that's what North need. Full points. Spargo gets his 3rd. So they won't lie down, North Melbourne. Not that you'd expect them to. 16-9 to 13-13.
Spargo's been a consistent performer all day with 3 goals. And North Melbourne still showing a little bit of life. But that once again, they'll need to reply quickly if they've got any chance to get back or right back into this game and even cause an upset win down here.
Again, the margin is 14 points as They need a quick goal. There's the kick by Scholl. And the mark has been taken at half forward, so they really do have a chance here. This is Spargo. He's kicked 3 goals. He will kick from 45 metres. And if he kicks this, they will only trail by 8 points, and they'll be right back in it. Paul Spargo runs close to the man on the mark. It's a high floating kick. It's a goal, all right. 4 goals to Paul Spargo. The margin 8 points. North back in with a chance.
It's the right back in a chance, and there's plenty of time still to go in this game. And Oshenko, we keep singing his praises today, but he really has been a fantastic player for the North Melbourne side. Once again getting the knockdown, German kicking the ball forward, and Spargo showing the benefit of playing in front as a forward.
So just over a kick in it. Spargo 4 goals. 2 of those came in the first quarter. 2 in this quarter. 8 points. The difference at Moorabbin. It's a thriller. Ishenko, who's been a giant all day. Mann leading Morris in the race for the ball. Craven off the ground. Goes out wide. Pickering is outnumbered. Craven has the speed and trips over. Kick it. Ball will come back. A free kick going to the diminutive Saint. Goes back to kick it. Pickering's nearly got him. Lowe marking in front of Fairley, something we haven't seen too much of today. Stewie Lowe taking his 6th mark. That's well below quota for him. Lockett making the lead. Can't take the mark. And North Melbourne will be hoping to try to close this right up here. That's Carey taking the hand pass. On to Fairley. Fairley right on the boundary line. Kicks it back to the centre wing position. Craven with the run. And the umpire will ball it up. Just over 6 minutes left in this match. It's been a thriller. 5 points in it at quarter time, 3 points at half time, 5 points at 3/4 time. What's it going to be at the finish? It's 8 points at the moment in favour of the home side. Allison crashes into the back of his opponent. Saints fans looking for a free kick. There is none. And again, we'll see a ball up. North Melbourne gaining some 15 metres.
Just over 5.5 minutes of play left in this match. Next goal, vitally important. As we see it at half-back with Frawley receiving from Bowie. Now it's Harvey going to the line and is helped on his way. It'll be a throw-in right on centre wing. So if North can get the next goal, they'll trail by 2 points, and then it is anyone's game. Still on centre wing. Kick it. Oh, they're off and running here. St Kilda. Kick it again. Recedes from Bowie. Kick it, the long bomb in the full forward. Lockett should mark this. Lockett was held.
Hit the post.
Free kick to Lockett. He was held by the arm by Richard Dennis. No doubt in the world. Had to be a free kick. And you just can't afford, Tim, to let Tony Lockett be one out with his opponent.
And the other thing you can't afford to do is let the players run free. On that occasion, St Kilda broke away from the pack, and there was 4 St Kilda players streaming forward, and not one North Melbourne player was chasing them.
Tony Lockett going for goal number 9, and this would make it very difficult for North Melbourne if he kicks it. He can make the lead 14 points with this kick. The big full forward kicks it right out of the ground for a goal. 9 goals to Tony Lockett, 14 points to margin in favour of the Saints.
Well, there wouldn't be a full back in the league that would have envied Richard Dennis on that occasion. He was one out with Tony Lockett. He was in the front position. The ball was coming long over the back, and he was always going to be in trouble, and he did all that he had to do, all that he could do then, Richard Dennis, and that was hold on. And of course he gave away the free kick.
9 goals, 3 so far to Tony Lockett today. The Saints now with a vice-like grip on this match. North Melbourne needing 3 goals in 4.5 minutes. 111 plays 97, 9-3 to Lockett. The Roos out of the centre through Peter German. 2-on-2 clash out there. It's going to be a free kick. It's going St Kilda's way. Winmar to take it. Didn't appear to be too much in it.
Nothing in it.
Spiral punt kick by the Saint star. And that's a strong mark taken by Craig Scholl. He's been a good player today for the Roos. He's not going to him. Going to German. Yashenko. Probably been their best player. Bad hand pass. They're giving them rap. That's what they do. Harvey from Coghlan. Out towards right half forward. McRae. Allen. Kick it. Picks it up brilliantly. Gets around Pickering. Gets it back to Allen. He can score from there, or will he go for Lockett? Looking for double figures. Ball eludes him. Dennis will get there first and should be able to do the tidying up work. On to Craig Scholl, covering plenty of territory. Long looping hand pass up towards the half back line. Picked up by German. And the ball run out by McRae ultimately. McRae kicking to half forward. Gee, Crocker should have got a free kick and will.
Well, Danny Frawley certainly makes you earn your kicks.
He earned that one, didn't he?
Oh, free kick.
Morris got a push in the back as well. It's going St Kilda's way. He didn't see the one that you saw. He saw the one that I saw.
The North Melbourne player was dragged down. Unbelievable. But there's Russell Morris with the kick. From half back in towards centre wing. The pack develops. Ross Smith. Oh, it's a wobbly one. It's all North Melbourne. Yashenko. Oh, he drops the sitter. Then taps it on. Crocker should give off a handball. He does. Anthony Stevens. Still a chance for North Melbourne. Spargo. The quick kick. Will it be marked? It will be by Craig Davenport in defence.
Yeah, there's terrific pressure then by Nathan Burke.
He's a great little player, Nathan Burke. Here's Winmar. Sprints after it. St Kilda looking fresher. Still Nicky Winmar. Goes to ground with the ball. Darren Steele taps it on. Still going on after it. Here's Big Flanagan. Coghlan. Winmar again. Showing his class. Centre wing. Allen is the flyer. Now McAdam. Now McRae. He loses it to Allen.
That's a throw.
And it's a free kick. It will come back to St Kilda. And it will go to Allen at half forward.
And what they're doing for. Saints fans have got the free. Good pass. He's found Harvey. Chipping it around well. Bowie right on 50. Clock ticking down, a minute and a half to go. No doubt about the result now. Lockett with a chance to add to his tally. Or is he going to have a shot? Brett Bowie right on the 50-metre line. Here comes Lockett now. Palms it down, tried to get it down to Coghlan, which he does ultimately. Back to kick it. Snapshot from him. Oh, that's a great goal. Goal of the day. Oh. What a way to finish for St Kilda as Kickett puts through his second. 18-9, 117 to 14-13, 97.
No, Kickett's been a lively performer all day on the forward line for St Kilda. A very creative and intelligent player, and they're just showing some of his skill. That was a snapshot from about 40 metres out over his shoulder. And this game is all over now.
Great goal by Kickett. St Kilda showing their class in these final stages. There's Peter German in towards full forward. Running at the ball was Shanahan, a greatly improved player. That was Frawley. Peter German again. Caught. It's tapped back. It's still a chance for North Melbourne. Crocker out to Peter Mann. Mann in towards Dwyer. Dwyer an open goal. And he slams it through for a goal. So North not giving up the ghost, but they've left it just a little bit too late. 18-9 to 15-13 in a great game of football.
Yes, I've been impressed with North Melbourne today. And although they're going to go down here to St Kilda, they've shown a lot more fight today than I've seen them show on any other occasion this year.
The early stages of the final quarter proving North's undoing. I guess you could say they've had it together for 3.5 quarters. That was nearly enough. So back into the centre, Yashenko and Flanagan. German up to Allison, who's got plenty of speed. Allison kicks from inside 50. Could be another one, and is. Oh, gee, put it through. What a game. But only a few seconds left on the clock. North Melbourne get their 16th. 16-13, 109 to 18-9, 117. Well, probably bears repeating, Pete, that early stage or stages of the final quarter when they had a bit of a lapse, going to prove costly.
3 or 4 bad mistakes at the start of this last quarter.
With only 5 seconds to go in this match, it will be a St Kilda win. See the square infringement. In fact, there is the siren. St Kilda have won it. North Melbourne putting up plenty of fight, carrying the game right up to the Saints all day, and the home side has sneaked in. So the final scores here at Moorabbin, St Kilda winning a thrilling game of football, 18-9, 117 to North Melbourne 16-13, 109.